I used to take these trips every year to Canada with my family. I have family in Canada, and different dynamics throughout. But there was one particular place that I would visit where there was a woman. I don't know what I would consider her, maybe like an aunt, some sort of a guardian figure. And she was very caring, and she was like a teacher. She always wanted to show us how to do things, whether it was being artistic or mathematical or just simply the way that we carried ourselves. She was aware of this, aware of the way that affected us as beings. And so she would always impart that wisdom onto us. So when I would go for walks with her, she would say, chest out, chest out. You know, that's how ballerinas walk. That's how ladies walk, with their posture erect and up. And I did not like it. It made me uncomfortable. It made me feel like I did not like when she would express this whatsoever. But now that I have grown, I see what she meant. I see why she was teaching me this. And it is the way that slight shifts in your posture can make a world of difference. And there's different ways that you can position yourself, right? Like your inner posture is going to affect the way that you move externally, and also the way that you move externally is also going to affect the way that you move internally. So, for example, let's say you're having an interaction and you're kind of hunched over, right? Or your head's down, there's no eye contact. Maybe your feet are inward, your arms are crossed. There's nothing wrong with, that position. It's just, it's going to affect the way that you speak. It's going to actually affect the way that the other person interacts with you, right? Because we're having these mirror neurons. So those people who are witnessing you, observing you with the entirety of their being, are subject to reflect your mannerisms on some level. And depending on the way that you posture yourself, you may be more susceptible to the way that others are positioning themselves. So this is why you want to be mindful of the energy that you surround yourself with and the way that you carry yourself. For example, let's just say that you are having a bad month, right? It's a challenging month for you for one reason or another. I'm drinking chamomile tonight, so let's just say that you're having a bad week. This was carried over to a bad month, and you've been in bed, or you've been just in a slightly different position, going more inward, sort of more in your chill mode, not interacting, not standing, we'll say. You create this momentum. There is a momentum that is created day by day, moment by moment, as you are in this position, as you are in this posture. The way that you are thinking, the way that you are moving, maybe carelessly, with less care than usual. So instead of sitting up in bed and grabbing your glass of water and giving thanks and drinking it and putting it down and getting up and making your bed, you're kind of just like, oh, grab the glass of water and kind of tilt your head up a little, drink it, put it to the side, kind of like that lazy energy. There's this, if you do this every day, and on top of that you're not feeling good for valid reasons, for whatever reason you might not be feeling so great. It could be you're physically incapable for because you're sick, or because you are disabled in some way, or maybe you went through a loss that is leaving you in this space of really needing to grieve or to rest, or whatever your situation is, right? Again, you create this momentum of an inner posture that reflects outwardly. But you very well may find yourself in situations where you have to show up, where you still have to show up for life. Life must go on, even though you have been in this state of being. Your month has passed, your 2 months has passed, and it is time for you to stand up and face life after creating this momentum. It would make sense that perhaps you're not having your chest out. Perhaps you're not stacking your spinal cord. Maybe you are kind of like crossed, head down, not feeling so open. But you have to show up. And so you position yourself, you adjust yourself to appear as if this has been your position over time. And it doesn't feel natural. Or, maybe somebody kind of taps you and says, chest out, this is how we do it. And it doesn't feel so good to hear those words. Now, I went through that as a child, and I was kind of like in this childlike energy. I didn't really have too many worries. I wasn't showing up for anything too groundbreaking. I was going for a walk. So, more lighthearted energy. And even then, I was affected by that. So I could imagine that feeling even more so uncomfortable in a setting where there is a level of necessity to position yourself as such. Being mindful of this gift. It's a gift to be able to exist in this vessel. It's a gift to be able to show up. It's a gift to be alive. If you position yourself in such a way inwardly over an extended period of time,
true power,
it does tend to feel that way. It's not, every single day. Of course, we all go through things, but
ever nodding its head to love.
this slight energy, it doesn't have to be like some monumental shift in the way that you carry yourself, but this is making a difference. And it's the small steps that you take. It's the small wins that you're stacking that ultimately lead to a grand result of a position of confidence, of just radiance, exuding an energy that is in alignment with you, with who you are, with that which no one else has, because it's you, it's your energy. Become aware of your inner posture. Become aware of when you have that control and exercising that ability to have control. There's things that we can control and things that we cannot control. Controlling the things that we are unable to control is going to lead to stress. It's going to lead to sickness. Stress makes you sick. Your mind, most of these diseases are coming from the way that you're thinking. You have diseased thinking. In so many cases, you can see a multitude of physical illnesses, manifestations of dis-ease in the body, growths, conditions. And when you go to a doctor's or you go to a specialist, they will say, there is no solution. Like, I can't do anything for you, or, there's nothing we can do. You're doomed forever. Most of the time, the reason why is because this is stemming from thought patterns. To position yourself inwardly is to be able to make those shifts, those slight incremental shifts that will ultimately put you in a more stable posture, energetically, mentally. Realize that to make assumptions that everybody is fine just because of the way that they're positioned externally is to potentially neglect those that you care about. So inquiring as you build relationships, as you connect, about where people are truly at, how they're truly feeling, if it is relevant to you, if you feel like it matters to you. these are the spaces where we have more control than we think, but we lose sight of that because of a simple misunderstanding or unawareness of the power of your posture, of the power of momentum. Even when I hold this camera, I'm not holding it right now because when I hold it, it kind of adds this extra weight to me that I don't feel like carrying while I express myself. This is a physical position. It doesn't mean that holding the camera and being in that position is a bad thing. Did y'all see that? Whatever. Doesn't mean that it's a bad thing, but it's going to shift the energy of how I convey a message to you. It's not the end of the world if you find yourself in that situation where, yeah, you kind of want to be a little bit more laid back, relaxed. That's a great energy to be in when you're just chilling, when you're just like in your cozy energy of relaxation. So, yes, that is all I wanted to share with you guys. May you position yourself in such a way as to create a momentum towards feeling that confidence, feeling that energy of whatever it is that you're needing to show up in the way that you truly desire. That makes sense, that is natural, that arises naturally. It's not to like force something to show up as something that inwardly you don't feel. This is a part of authenticity, which is feels natural, which feels good. So, yes, appreciate you.